Okay, so in today's video about ICP, we are going to check out the live chart and see what is happening there. But before that, I want to talk about this important tweet and tell you what does it mean for internet computer and why should it be a bit important for us as investors. So with that said, hi everyone, welcome back. I hope you are having a great time with your family and loved ones. And first things first, what is Vertex Milestone? This is specifically about the alpha launch of the Caffeine platform, which is designed to allow prompt-based creation of full-stack applications. In simpler terms, instead of writing a whole lot of code manually, developers can simply provide natural language prompts and let the artificial intelligence to just generate the necessary code for both front end and also back end of the application. At least this is the idea on paper. Now, what does it mean for developers and users? For developers, this basically lowers the barrier to entry, meaning the idea is that more people are going to be able to build and deploy applications on ICP without really having a deep knowledge of how to code. And what does this mean for the whole ecosystem? Well, basically, when you are having cheaper, faster, and also easier way of developing an application, okay, you're gonna have just more and more adoption and more growth in the future. Now, I want to be very clear on this one, and it's very important to understand that the Vertex Milestone at the moment is in alpha stage, meaning at the moment, it's actually made available for early adopters, developers, and testers. And for now, at least, and again, this is just for now, the public doesn't really have access to it. But overall, I would like to argue that this is a definitely positive step towards the right direction when it comes to developing artificial intelligence and specifically Caffeine AI. Now, in terms of what this actually means for investors and the ones that are buying the tokens and care for fundamentals, okay, you see, I told you so many times, I believe that Caffeine AI is going to bring the overall cost of developing an application way down. And whenever you are having a cheaper way of developing an app, that means you are much more motivated to build on ICP, which will ultimately lead to more and more adoption. This to me is the main goal of Caffeine AI. I'm not really a big fan of the self-writing internet narrative and saying that Caffeine AI is going to do it all. No, I really doubt that, and I want to manage my expectations and say Caffeine AI is probably not going to be what a lot of people are advertising, but this doesn't mean that it's not actually a useful tool. I fully believe it's going to be a useful tool, and the fact that we had this Vertex Milestone definitely does show that there is indeed a product, because a couple of months ago, I remember one of my viewers say, what if Caffeine AI is actually a lie overall? No, this definitely shows that we do have a Caffeine AI there, but again, we all should manage our expectations, and also the fact that the launch of such a product at the moment at least is not really priced in my opinion, can be a good sign, suggesting that overall, number one, price is cheap and is probably a good buy opportunity in case that you care about the fundamentals of this project. And number two, when we get the launch of Caffeine AI, hopefully that is going to cause some positive reaction. So overall, I would say in terms of fundamentals in ICP, we are definitely on the right direction, and the price being down doesn't really say that this is a bad project. No, these are two very different stories. For example, you remember back in, I think it was like 2020, when the price of oil kind of went to zero. At that point, I remember Exxon's stock was just going down and down and down, and I bought a lot of stock at that point. And what happened next? The price went up and a lot of people made some good money. Now, a question for you. Does this mean when Exxon price was falling, it was actually a bad company? No, for me at least, and again, just for me, that meant that we are having a fantastic buying opportunity in a stock that actually has pretty good fundamentals. And that's kind of the point that I'm trying to make. The price is not really telling you what is happening in terms of fundamentals in like very short term. In the long run, I fully agree that ultimately the price will go up if you are having a good project or a good stock. But in the short term, these two can mean very, very different things. And in ICP, unfortunately, we are having the same situation, meaning in terms of fundamentals, we are looking great, but the price is down. And this is not actually just specific for ICP. No, in a lot of altcoins, we are unfortunately having the same situation. Now, question is, at the moment, can we say we are going to have some more strong moves on the downside? In my opinion, probably not. I mean, sure, we can get a move down, and in that move, we might even take the lowest low down here about, let's say, like $5.50. But the reason for why I believe we're not going to have a very strong move down is that in here we are having a very, very important support area from weekly and daily time frame at the same time between 4.7 to about $5.8. And because at the moment we are above this important support, I would like to argue that we are probably going to get a very strong bounce back off of this important region, and maybe this is going to be the start of the next phase of the bull run in ICP and hopefully in a lot of other altcoins. But am I going to say we are going to get a break of this support and do a pullback and a continuation of the move down? This is possible, do not get me wrong, because there is no certainty in any market. We are only talking about the probabilities, but in my opinion, for me at least, it's not really going to be my primary case. My primary scenario suggests these prices at the moment in internet computer can be considered as kind of cheap. That's why by every single move down that we are getting in ICP, I'm just adding more and more in order to get my average purchase under $7. And number two, even if we are going to get another move down, it's not going to be that deep and it's not even going to be that significant. And I'm hoping that right around the current areas, we are going to form some sort of a bottom. So if you think this is a good project in terms of fundamentals and you want to have some good areas for investing in the long term, I think these prices at the moment can be considered as decent buying opportunities. And I hope I explained everything well and you understood what is going on in ICP's price chart. Anyway, if you found any value in my content, I would really appreciate if you like this video and consider subscribing to my channel and follow me on Twitter. And if you want more, maybe you want a complete analysis for your own specific crypto, or maybe you want to learn some decent TA in order to be able to make good money in the markets, you can become a member and ask me anything you want. And until the next video, I hope you have a wonderful time. Goodbye.